In this episode, we're going to talk about a couple from New York, Scott and Christine, who made over 150% return on investment on one single Roth IRA transaction. Now, it wasn't just one single transaction that helped them achieve their retirement goals, which is travel the country in an RV and, most importantly, retire before the age of 60. It was many real estate transactions inside and outside of their Roth IRAs. In today's program, we're going to talk specifically about their Roth IRA private money lending investments. So let's get started. Hi, everybody. I'm John Bowens, Director of Education and Investor Success here at Equity Trust. Make sure to hit the bell icon and the subscribe button. That way we can alert you to all of our upcoming video content. So let's get started. Scott and Christine from New York. They're no longer from New York because they're now traveling the country in their Class A motorhome, pursuing their lifelong retirement dreams. And much of this is due in part to the tax-free compounding growth that they've been able to achieve with their Roth IRAs. Now, it wasn't always this way for Scott and Christine. In fact, when they were working in corporate America, they had 401ks that were all pre-tax. But then they learned about this concept of a Roth IRA. They learned that they could pay taxes on the seed instead of the crop. So what they did is they rolled over their 401ks into traditional IRAs, and then they converted those funds into Roth IRAs. This is what's known as a Roth conversion. So they paid the taxes on the smaller seed, so they don't have to pay it on the much larger crop. And that allows them to achieve what we call compounding interest in the absence of taxation. Now, Scott and Christine started in the real estate investing business about 15 years ago. They started with single-family rental properties, lending money secured by real estate in their local community in Rochester, New York. And they got very good and they developed the skill set. They also developed the skill set around identifying smaller self-storage facilities and working with motivated sellers that owned these self-storage facilities. So they broadened their horizons within real estate away from just single-family homes into self-storage. Now, fast forward, they began lending money secured by real estate with single-family homes as well as self-storage buildings. So a lot of people aren't familiar with this concept of being able to take control of their retirement accounts and leverage their knowledge and expertise. See, Christine and Scott, they developed a skill set around real estate investing, in addition to single-family homes, also self-storage buildings. So wouldn't it make sense for them to leverage that same knowledge and expertise with their self-directed Roth IRAs? And even beyond that, for Scott and Christine, their philosophy is investing in America. Their philosophy is investing in their community, in the communities that they work in and they travel in. So also think about that, the concept of making an impact on a community. So as private lenders, they get to see when they deploy their Roth IRA, their hard-earned Roth IRAs, when they deploy that into a real estate investment, they see where that money goes. They see the contractors that money is being used for to pay for the services provided, the local real estate professionals, the title companies, the attorneys, the CPAs that all get to be a part of those transactions. So let's talk about just a couple of the private money loan transactions that they've done with their self-directed Roth IRAs. And by the way, stay tuned at the very end. I'm going to talk about one of our private money lending courses. So if you want to take a deep dive where I go from a micro perspective into how this works, you're going to learn how to do that. So the first transaction is with Scott's Roth IRA. Now remember, Scott didn't always have a Roth IRA. He had a 401k from corporate America, rolled it over to a traditional IRA, and then he converted it over time into his Roth IRA. He actually did what we call convert in stages. So he converted it over multiple years. And we have content about that in another YouTube video. So Scott found an opportunity, a self-storage building. He brought this opportunity to an investor that specializes in acquiring assets like this, renovating these assets, and then selling these assets for a significant profit. So these are self-storage buildings that require rehab. The rehab adds significant value, increases net operating income. They then sell, exit, profits go back to Scott and all of the other investors. So Scott finds a self-storage building. He locates an operator, and Scott becomes the private money lender on the transaction. So what Scott does is with his Roth IRA on this one transaction, it was a self-storage building, he makes a $50,000 loan. This is a promissory note secured by the asset. Now, you could potentially do this with single-family homes, apartment buildings, shopping centers, or in this case, it was a self-storage building for Scott's Roth IRA. He loans $50,000 per the promissory note. He receives 12% of the net operating income on an annual basis, and then 12% of the sale proceeds. Now, could you lend money with your self-directed IRA and simply just charge a flat interest rate? Of course. You get to take control of the terms, the repayment terms, and how that note is structured. So in Scott's case, he loans $50,000. He requires that the borrower pays per the promissory note that's drafted. He requires that the borrower pays 12% of the net operating income and 12% of the net sale proceeds. So he's getting 12% of the annual net operating income and then 12% of the sale proceeds. Now, this number came out to be, it was only about a 2-year transaction. All right, so it was buy, renovate, and sell to a turnkey buyer. So Scott's Roth IRA money was in play for approximately 2 years. He made a net profit. So he loaned $50,000 and he received back $56,450 in net tax-free profit. So he got his $50,000 back and $56,450 in profit. And that was from the 12% net operating income on an annual basis and then the 12% net sale proceeds. So that money flowed back into his Roth IRA tax-free. See, what's important to understand is interest income. When the self-directed IRA, if everything is structured properly, you're working with the right professionals in this space, if you're doing this properly, all of that interest income flows back into the Roth IRA tax-free. And in Scott's case, had he had to pay taxes on that $56,000 and some change at, let's say, a 20% effective tax rate, he would have been inevitably paying over $10,000 in taxes. So in this case, he has that tax savings in his Roth IRA that allows him to take that money and put it into another transaction. This is what we call compounding interest in the absence of taxation. Now, it didn't stop there because I remember that Scott has a spouse. Her name is Christine. Christine also had a corporate America 401k. She rolled over, converted it into a Roth IRA. So rinse, repeat, reload, and reinvest is what Scott and Christine's philosophy is. So from their Class A motorhome, as they're traveling the country, they can find these opportunities and ultimately complete these opportunities through their self-directed Roth IRAs from their remote locations. So the second transaction, Christine's Roth IRA deployed $50,000 to a borrower to acquire a self-storage building, and then she charged 50% of the net sale proceeds. Now, this came out to be about $80,000, almost $81,000, over a 160% annualized return on investment. And that over $80,000 in profit, again, just like Scott, went back into her Roth IRA tax-free. So to conclude and recap, Scott and Christine, they're leveraging their knowledge and expertise in their space of real estate and self-storage investing to grow their Roth IRAs. They're making an impact on these communities by helping to put together these transactions, making loans, deploying capital from their Roth IRAs, and putting people to work in those communities. And then, of course, they're doing well themselves based on those numbers that you heard, all of the profits going back into their Roth IRAs tax-free. So those are private money loans held in their self-directed Roth IRAs, and they continue to rinse, repeat, reload, and reinvest. We also talked about there this concept of rolling over a 401k and then converting to a Roth IRA. It's important to understand that when you roll over money from one retirement account into a self-directed IRA, or as we like to call it, a private market alternative investing IRA, there are no taxes or penalties. That's the one of the most common misconceptions is that when you roll over money or transfer money, there's some sort of adverse tax consequences or penalties. It's so far from the truth. As long as you follow the process, the money moves over, no taxes or penalties. And then from there, like Scott and Christine, if you say, hey, you know what? I believe I'm going to make a significant rate of return over the lifetime of this account, so I'd rather pay the taxes now so I don't pay them later. Then you can do that Roth conversion where you convert from traditional to Roth. Now, I would encourage you to speak with your CPA or your tax professional, run the numbers on does this make sense for you or not, or maybe like Scott, you convert in stages, meaning you convert over multiple years to spread out your tax burden over a number of different years. With all that being said, I hope you enjoyed today's program. You will see in the notes section or comments box that there's an opportunity to click a link. If you click the link, it's going to take you to a page where you're going to learn about our private money lending course. So this is an all online, all digital course. If you like this content, I go on a micro level, the process of making private money loans. I give you the examples just like I shared with you here, along with many, many other examples in the video education. Additionally, you're going to have videos that you'll see that are more short form that you can download, and you can share those with other investors or share those with other individuals that you might want to educate further on the concepts of being able to lend money secured by real estate with a self-directed IRA. Now, you will see as well, we have a discount for you. So for those of you that are watching today's program, make sure you check that out. Click the link. Make sure to use the promo code for the discount. We look forward to seeing you in our private money lending course. Again, I'm John Bowens here at Equity Trust Company. Until the next one, keep leveraging compounding interest in the absence of taxation.